Hey y'all, grown black folks talk on another beautiful, very late summer day. It's the 16th here in San Francisco, and we're going to see if this afternoon wind is going to let us be great for just a little while. I'll talk about a little concept, and partially subscriber Tiffany is also known by some of you as Black Woman Minding My Business, is partially responsible for this topic and me developing it the way I have. She talked about the importance of us taking care of our digital diet. Let me tell you what the foundation of a bad digital diet is. I was listening to some very old music, an old Catholic mass set by a very important 18th and 19th century composer, name unimportant. It is some of the most beautiful music ever written. Two of my favorite classical singers were singing it, Kurt Mahl and of course Jesse Norman. Just a beautiful situation. And I had to turn it off because I realized the text of a Latin Mass, I know it's very important and special to many people, but that Bible sits up and talks about how we do not have to come begging God for things, and beautiful begging is still begging. Beautiful begging is still begging. And when you are in the habits, and as a black person, I can think of all the church music that is just basically begging God to have mercy, and even some blues, because the idea is we don't have a relationship with one higher than ourselves. That's a trustful relationship. And see, that leaves time for men and women to move in and try to get our trust and our worship instead. But most of us, as African Americans, are heavily churched. Started out on a very bad foundation. Beautiful begging is still begging. And then what ends up happening is because you think you're powerless, people intervene and get around things that, people get together based on what they're angry with. People get together based on what they love. And everybody's coping, but nobody's changing anything because you've been convinced you're powerless. You have to beg for everything that's important. But you spend a lot of time and energy emoting with other people and coping. And this is a whole, well-rounded, toxic digital diet. I'm looking around because a few more people that are here collecting on the statue today than usual where I'm sitting. But beautiful begging is still begging. It shows up in a lot of ways. It shows up in a lot of music. It shows up in a lot of culture. And it's a bad foundation. When you are a powerful person, I was talking to my mother about this. There's some people in this world that are messing up this week. And am I yelling, screaming, and begging them to change their behavior? No. I'm on the board with people. We've already worked out what our strategy is going to be all the way down the line. We're not about to do this because we're powerful people. We don't argue. We actually have power. We don't argue. We don't beg. You do what you want to do, and then we do what we have to do. I've been in this particular position for 8 years. We haven't been run off the road yet. And it ain't going to happen next week either. We spend so much energy coping. We spend so much energy being mad, being sad, being emotionally manipulated. So much time begging people who we feel are not willing to do anything for us. Just stop. No matter how beautifully it's presented, begging is begging. Just stop. If you are a Christian, understand that the Bible says, come boldly to the throne of grace. If you have a relationship with God as Father, you can come boldly to Him and ask for what you need. Ask, I say, not command. That's an entirely different video. You don't get into the habit. I mean, you think about this. You don't tell your Father what to do on earth. So it's not a good idea to do in heaven for those of you who are Christians. But the point is, you don't ever have to beg. We're free people. Gotta learn how to act like it. Gotta learn how to act like it. And when you have music and song and all these things that encourage you to go into that begging mode, turn it off. Do something else. Join a different church. Seriously. Because that's the foundation of what toxic digital diets will do to you. It sets you up to be in other positions. We get desperate. And that's what sets us up. To be stressed, to be sick, to be powerless. Now, in September, we got to deal with real church. We got to strip down all this stuff. Why do we even have this Latin Mass when there's no such creature in the Old Testament? You can read through the Psalms all day long. You will not find anything there that focuses on. There are entreaties and serious-minded prayers that people make, but you won't find that. How do we end up with all this in the first place? How do we end up with a religion that is half a religion given by people whose gods had to be begged and cajoled in order to give them anything? How did we end up with so much paganism? We got to deal with that for this month. But next month, Sobering October study, we'll start getting into the things the toxicity that we take in, and how the Bible helps us steer around those things. That was actually going to be September, but we'll get to that next month. All right, we're going to keep it short today because it's a beautiful day, and I'm enjoying sitting here. But I got to get back to the house. Found out some information today that I actually didn't need. Time to take action, but as I say, September is a good time for planning, but you really do have to kind of book it. Because October now is less than half a month away, so I've got to get some smack done. But anyway, y'all have a good day now. Enjoy these last days in summer, and pretty soon we'll be in the early fall. All right, goodbye.